G.I. Joe! G.I.
Solo board gaming night here, and today I'm going to be comparing the G.I. Joe deck building game along with the Transformers deck building game. Both of these franchises were huge hits in the 80s. And what I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to use several categories, and each category is going to have a winner and a loser. At the end of the video, we'll take a look at which game won the most categories, and that'll help you better understand which game you would enjoy the most. Hopefully, at least. Let's get started. G.I. Joe's artwork is very vibrant, detailed, and colorful. I like how each character was illustrated, their poses, everything about the way the cards themselves looked were really well done. It also looked really great on the table. It had really good presence whenever I played it. The Transformers cards were also very vibrant, colorful, and detailed. Each one of the cards were made with painstaking detail, and they had like a closer up feel to them, and you were able to see like their expressions and their actions. It was very well done. It looked very good. And when you placed it on the table as well, when the cards were revealed and face up, they had a really good table presence as well. Because the art on both G.I. Joe and Transformers was so great, I had to just go ahead and give the category of art a tie. They're both amazing. Although the art of Transformers is amazing, it failed to deliver on the theme. At no point during my playthroughs did I ever feel like I was a Transformers. Yes, the abilities were on the cards that would help you defeat any situation that was presented, but at no particular moment did I actually feel like I was a Transformers. Whenever I was in my alternate form, it really was just adding movement. And yeah, that makes sense because you're in your vehicle form, most likely. But I still didn't feel like it was Transformers enough. It didn't really distinguish itself apart from the art. Anything Transformers related gameplay wise, in my opinion, it could have been any other theme, and I wouldn't have known any better. It would have still played the same, Transformers or not. G.I. Joe, on the other hand, absolutely nailed the theme. You actually feel like you're a Joe going on missions trying to take down Cobra Command. It is just such a well done theme. From the way the missions are done with its transports, which in the cartoons there were so many different vehicles to use because they used to use those vehicles to then sell the kids the toys at this toy store, down to the actual plan that Cobra comes up with. It's just so faithful to the material, to the source material, and so well done that when it comes to the theme, I think it's a given that G.I. Joe absolutely is the clear winner. That's why the best theme goes to G.I. Joe. When it comes to the quality of the components, G.I. Joe does a really good job. I like the sturdiness of the threat track itself, along with the little tokens that come with it. The card stock of the actual cards feel nice and sturdy. They're not flimsy at all. The dice are also really good quality, and they're custom made as well. When it comes to Transformers, it's very similar. They have these Energon cubes that are really well made. The tokens are really well done. What I do like about the Transformers is that it actually has character standee so you know where your character is at all times, and I like that. The cardstock quality also feels really good and doesn't feel flimsy at all. With all that said, the category to best components is going to be another tie between G.I. Joe and Transformers. They're both very well made. I do enjoy the gameplay of Transformers. I like the feel of going around the Matrix, revealing cards and purchasing them or combating them if they're a Decepticon. It all works really well and really fun when things are going smoothly. However, when there are a lot of cards that have start of turn, end of turn effects, and you have to place these little tokens to help you keep track of all the ongoing effects, the game starts becoming really fiddly. It kind of loses me. I also don't like how some encounter cards they could set you up for instant failure if you're not careful. Another thing that I'd like to mention about the combat is the actual damage cards. When you're damaged in this game, you must be assisted by another player or your second hand. If you're not assisted, you cannot fight. So you have to make sure that you have someone next to you or on the same space as you, and that they have the cards or the range to be able to assist you. If not, it's going to be an automatic fail. G.I. Joe, on the other hand, I think has a better idea of what they wanted to do with the combat. I feel that it was a better planned game, if that makes sense. I feel that the way that the missions are handled, both side missions and group missions, are so well done. They're enjoyable. I actually looked forward to every combat scenario that I was placed, or every mission. There's no combat per se. The dice is what determines whether you fail or not, and your cards help you mitigate that. Now, although you may fail or you can fail as well when you're going on a mission, I feel that you have much more control here. And the purchasing the cards and battling the missions feel much more satisfying in my opinion compared to Transformers. Because of that, the winner of best gameplay goes to G.I. Joe The Clothing Game. Transformers suffers from the luck of the draw. Sometimes when you draw whatever Decepticon is underneath, or its encounter card, or its ambush card, if you're not ready for it, if you don't have a well built hand or prepare before the encounter well enough, you're looking at a very, very random affair. You might just absolutely fail without even having an ability to do anything about it. Because of the dice roll involved in G.I. Joe, there's a lot of randomness as well. However, there's a lot of mitigation that could be done with cards, other Joes, and abilities. It really does help balance that randomness that the rolls of the dice can bring. You'd be amazed how well sometimes, with a well built team and enough planning, how much you can actually mitigate in your favor and hopefully come out winning the day. Because of all the mitigation that G.I. Joe allows you to do during your gameplay, the category for fair randomness will be awarded to G.I. Joe. In Transformers, there are a total of 6 Decepticon bosses that are included in the box. The problem is that every time you set up a game, you need to include at least 3 bosses. So in reality, in just 2 games, you could pretty much see most everything that Transformers has to offer when it comes to defeating the Decepticon bosses. There are some side schemes there that, or they call it Decepticon schemes, that uh, help spice things up with ongoing effects. But overall, once you've seen all of the bosses, there's not much more to it unless future expansions expand upon that. At first glance, you would look at G.I. Joe and think with only 2 missions, there's not a lot of replayability either. However, each of those 2 missions are split into 3 different acts. Each act contains 3 missions before you go on to the next act. There are 5 different missions that you can shuffle within each act. Apart from that, you have the side missions that are included along with the complication cards and the officers that each give you different missions that you could go on, either side missions or group missions. In total, you're going to be playing the game many times before you get to see and experience everything that G.I. Joe has to offer. So just in its core box, G.I. Joe blows Transformers out of the water. And because of that, the category for most replayability goes to G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe and Transformers both tied in the art and components category. G.I. Joe, however, won in the theme, gameplay, fair randomness, and replayability categories. Unfortunately for Transformers, it didn't win not even one category. It was able to tie, but never walked away with a win. In truthfulness, both games offer some fun. Just in my opinion, I believe that G.I. Joe was the game that ended up giving me more enjoyment during my time playing it. Because of that, G.I. Joe deck building game is the clear winner of this competition. If you ended up playing the G.I. Joe and Transformers deck building game, let me know which one you prefer. I'm Solo Board Gaming Night. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great game night. Take care.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.